Well, it was a dream start against Hungary, and winning 7-0 is always nice. And yeah, if we can keep up this form and get the breaks going, we can get very far and hopefully win it.
We're just enjoying the game, you know. It depends on the roll of the ball, you know, sometimes. So depends on the luck. So we don't need to talk too much, especially in the table, because we know already what we need to do.
The thing I expect from the Philippines is no less than what you always expect. That's just an excellent pool. So we know what's coming and we need to focus on our game, and then they know what's coming also. So it's going to be like a classic matchup, that's what I think.
You know, Holland is one of the best team in this event, so anybody can happen, you know. It's a race to 7 also, you know.
Holland-Philippines is one of those matchups that's really cool, also for the fans to watch, and I hope for a big crowd and a nice atmosphere.
Thanks very much indeed, Nick. Yes, you think of the superpowers in World Pool, you think of the Philippines, you think of the Netherlands, two of the real giants of the game. Nick van den Berg, Niels Sveijen, vastly experienced, of course. Goodness knows how many Mosconi Cup triumphs these two have between them. This Filipino partnership not quite as experienced. The Filipinos have sent over a kind of lesser known names, but they certainly wouldn't have sent them over here just to collect the air miles. They obviously believe that these guys can do something, get a win. He looks a little bit nervous here, a little bit, Johan Chua, as we get ready for the lag. I hope that's not a sign of things to come for him, but what a mouth-watering prospect this one is. And Alex Lely, proud Dutchman, sat alongside me. Is this gonna be your year?
Well, their year, and then secondary, our year. I mean, yes, we're rooting for the guys.
First rank, race to 7,
firstly, mostly, I hope we're going to get to see a great exhibition of top pool, top 9 ball. A good fight between the two top teams, and don't get it wrong, Nick. Biado and Chua are definitely first-tier players in the Philippines.
2 down, and the 2 is over the pocket. Now whether that'll thread through, we have to wait and see, but the good news here for Fine is that he's got a nice break, good spread of balls, and if he can see the 2, or if they've left the 2 open, he'll take that every day.
The 8 ball's too far to jump. They would need to go too high, too hard, and off of the short rail. Then pocketing the 2 would be difficult. He's going the other way, through the 5 and 8. He had a clear side there, so that's a perfect start for Niels and Nick.
And it's opened up the table very nicely.
Now the 5, the orange 5, goes to both sides, so that gives a little bit more margin to play with off of the 4. Straight in shot, somewhat easier than the one that Ruslan missed on the 1 ball in their first rack against Austria.
The Dutch starting out so well in their first round match. I mean, they just brutalized Hong Kong. That one should have been stopped by a referee. It was so one-sided. They looked so good. Philippines took a little while to get going against Qatar. Got there in the end.
Yeah, starting out good is essential. Only one team in the first round of all those 16 matches, only one team failed to trail with large numbers in the beginning and make a successful comeback. This was Poland, losing 5-1. They managed to claw that match from the brink of defeat.
Just shows how important it is to get a good start. You get the first couple of racks in the bank, you're almost there, and in a sprint to 7 as this format, although it'll move up when we get to the quarterfinals, but in a sprint you just cannot afford to let your opponents get too far in front.
Now a slight angle on the 6. Maybe difficult to imagine for some, but a shot like that can be missed here on the TV table. People hit it too hard. Could only hold that cue ball with a smooth stroke. Beautiful, confident start by the Clockwork Orange.
We have seen some 9s missed over the last few days. This won't be one of them. There it is. Strong break from Feiern. They got their lucky break in that they could see the next available ball. That went down, and after that they just controlled the table. It's shades of the Netherlands in the last round on that opening rack. I'll be very surprised if it's as easy for them here as it was against Hong Kong a couple of days ago. But they're happy enough. Why not?
Well, it's so difficult in pool to not be troubled by who you're up against.
Well, the format, all the second round matches, confirmation, still a race to 7 as it was in round 1. That'll change. Winner breaks, of course. 30-second shot clock is in operation, and there is one extension of 30 seconds available per team, per rack. Now, in the first couple of sessions, Alex, we saw some of these teams racing the clock, scrambling a little bit. They all these survivors now seem to have just got the measure of the clock. We're not seeing teams snatching at shots, running out of time. I think they've got used to it, haven't they?
For now, Nick. But I'll guarantee you that we're going to see some blunders caused by the shot clock. And probably the closer we get to D-Day, to crunch time, to the final ball in the final, the more we'll see it happen. Because players, tournament players, they learn, they train themselves when it's crunch time, when it's time to clinch a match, to slow down, to take more time, to consider shots a little bit longer. But that's not possible with the shot clock.
This was a bit unfortunate, the way the red 3 just gave the blue 2 a little kiss there. Not ideal.
Yeah, no safety playable. But I mean, they could try a safety off of the 2, but it's really nasty. Thin off of the 2 to hide behind the 4 is a shot, but if you don't get that cue ball behind the 4, they would have an open shot, the Pinoys.
Feiern will push out. Now, if you've never seen a push out before, you're allowed to do that. You can hit any ball anywhere on the table, or not even hit a ball if you don't want to. Now, the opposition can then come up and say, oh yes, we like the look of that, we'll take this shot on. Or, alternatively, if they don't like it, they can go back and sit down, and the team that played the push out has to carry on.
You're always at a disadvantage playing the push out because you give your opponent choice. And I don't see an aggressive option here. Just this. And that was the strength of the push out. Get back or taken by the opponent. No aggressive shot, no shot to win with was available. Now the corner with a lot of traffic with the 4, 6 and 9. He can travel towards that corner off of the right side of the 2.
Extension
but I don't know to what extent he'll be hampered by the 5 ball cueing that shot. Nice shot there.
Now, does he get safe? Can he use those blocking balls? Now, I'm not sure that's done quite enough here, you know.
First open shot for Chua and Beato. Johan Chua first here. Was recently for extended time, some 6 weeks in the States. Did well. Got to the final of the Billiard Expo in Philadelphia, losing to Shane van Boning. Beautiful cueist.
I guess that's the point to make. You know, they haven't just fished these 2 fellas out of a pool hall in Metro Manila somewhere, have they? These are 2 pretty experienced and well-traveled guys.
Well, I dare say that's an understatement. Both former Japan Open champion. Here we saw a close-up of that very minimalistic technique of Carlo Biado. It's important here. He'll get to the right side of the 5. Important to keep enough of an angle. Better too much than too little. No angle means either go forward and do something off of the 6 or do something now in reverse, full gas.
Well, he went for reverse. Took the reverse option. Oh, that's not bad.
Beautifully done.
That's not bad at all.
Chua, 25, Bobwit, they call him. Small mouse.
Oh, is that what it is? I was going to ask you about that. Small mouse.
And Biado's the black tiger. 10 years older. To the corner, black to the corner. We'll try to get that cue ball some extra inches off of the rail, I expect.
Well, remember how we got to this situation. The Dutch missing a safety shot. Philippines came up to the table. A little smile between the two of them. They're in business now. And this match showing the promise of being a real good one. We were all looking at this and thinking, wow, that's a match you don't want to miss. And so far, living up to its billing. Two teams, of course, with such a rich tradition of global pool success in this particular competition. The World Cup of Pool, the Philippines always there or thereabouts. 3 times winners. The big shock, I suppose, was them going out in round 2 the last time the competition was held. They're always deep into this normally. And they'll want to just erase the memory of 2015 and go deep into this competition as well. But the draw wasn't kind to them, running into another informed team in the Dutch. But the Philippines, that really sums up the kind of quality, the depth that this nation brings to a 9-ball table.
Chua's break.
Thank you, rack 3.
It's all
Philippines
about
to break.
enough speed to
1-1.
get that wing ball in. And a precise hit to control the cue ball. Either parking it center table or maneuvering it to the long rail to avoid traffic.
Well, he's got the wing ball, and if that 2 just slams the brakes on, he'll be all right for the 1 ball, and indeed he is quite comfortable.
Very steep cut. He'll go up and down, or from left to right and back. Now, it's pretty essential to come out straight enough on the 2. He does not want to have an angle on the 2 ball towards the 4 and 6. Would make life more difficult.
It wiped its feet on the way in.
Missed it, but made it. There are disadvantages of a TV table. Slippery, slick, no friction. And there are advantages. And forgiving pockets is one of them. The most difficult, I think, for most players on the TV table is that because the cloth is so slick, that whenever you apply a normal amount of side spin, there's more squirt or deflection. The cue ball is pushed more offline than what you're used to. I'd say that even this table, compared to the table upstairs where they practice on, the amount of deflection here is 30% more.
Wow. That takes a lot of adjusting too. Controlling the center of the table, coming back up. Oh, the pink 4, but that's way too much. Now that needs to slow down. Well, the good thing is he didn't scratch. That's the only good thing you can say. You don't want to be heading up there.
Always a difficult shot, and 9 out of 10 times you'll see that players overcook their draw shot. And that 1 out of 10 times they'll underhit it, being preoccupied by that overhitting. Luckily they see part of the 4.
Yep, and Chua, he's just going to have to head for the hills, try and tuck it up behind that 8 ball, and I think he's got it as well.
Yeah, beautiful shot. Instead of trying to land behind that 8 ball, he played it intentionally with a little more speed. In so doing, a quarter, half ball or 3/4 ball hit on that 8 would bump it off the rail like it did. 2 rails around the 6.
Cold.
Nick now taking the middle between the cue ball and the 4 ball. And it's approximately a parallel line to that. He'll hit this.
No, that is ball in hand for the Philippines.
Out shot.
You heard a gasp from Alex Lely. Didn't quite believe what he saw there.
Start the
Oh,
clock.
no, yeah, when I said he'll hit this, I was thinking, okay, is this hope or is this knowledge that makes me say that?
Well, ball in hand with this table is pretty much the rack. So that fast start of the Dutch has dissolved away.
Too far for the 5 to the side pocket. But then further for a shot on the 6, or is he cutting it? He's cutting it to the side pocket. He'll draw it out 2 rails, short, long.
Yeah, lovely little touch shot there.
Yeah. They're looking a little edgy. First the shot by Beato on the 4. Should be fine. That's nicely played. No 2 diamonds distance off the 8.
Very big crowd has assembled tonight to enjoy this action. And it's not just for the England-Scotland match either. This is a real mouth-watering appetizer, and then we've got the USA and Spain coming up tonight. I mean, what a lineup of matches. But right now, it's the Philippines who've edged their way in front here. 2-1. A couple of errors from the Dutch. That's all it's taken. 2 errors, 2 racks gone. They need to sharpen their game up a little bit. The Philippines will be hoping for plenty more of the same, in the knowledge that when you're a front runner in a race to 7, you tend to get to the finish line first as well. Coverage continues after this short break. Well, you're not going to get through to a place in the quarterfinals in the World Cup of Pool making mistakes. Nobody needs to tell Neil Spine and Nick Vandenberg here just how costly a shot like that can be. More often than not, it'll cost you the rack. That's what's happened the last 2 racks earlier today. Chinese Taipei just about squeezed past Poland. China obliterated Germany. That was a stunner. And Austria quietly looked very good, disposing of Russia. After this match has finished, we'll have the old rivalry continuing, Scotland versus England, and we conclude day 4 and indeed round 2 of the World Cup of Pool with the United States versus Spain. A Spain team, by the way, that can play much better than we saw in round 1, and if they do play up to their best, there's every chance that they will upset the
Philippines
Americans.
to break, leading 2 racks to 1.
Well, let's see what happens in the remainder of this one.
Beato to break. Beato was the culprit of that last position, where he almost scratched And from what Chua saw of that 4-ball, he managed to manufacture a wonderful safety. A deadly safety for Holland and a deadly break. Little bump. View, full view on the 2-ball. This spells danger in rack 4.
Yeah, it spells 3-1 down.
Automatic position, a roadmap.
Yeah, anytime you get 3 balls down on the break, there's every chance you're going to be in great shape, especially if you can see the next available ball, which had sat up perfectly. This is going to be a double quick rack. They can just join up the dots here. We talked about it at the start of this match, and what we've seen over the 2 days here, Alex will confirm this. Teams that get ahead tend to stay there.
Yes, sir. Dynamic warm-up strokes from Carlo Biado. Relatively, because how many shots he doesn't do anything. Just lines up, holds, and then pulls the trigger. Chua will drop this in and give Biado a straight in.
That was short and sweet, short and sour if you're in the Dutch camp. Terrific break, everything flooded off that, and I think those guys, when they saw the break in the spread of balls, they thought, well, we might as well get comfortable here. We're going to be here a while.
Keep your patience, keep your calm.
Yeah, that's the point, isn't it? They're there now, they're stuck there, but they're not going to be there for the rest of the match. There's no way the Philippines are going to just break and run out. They will get another opportunity, the Dutch. What they've just got to hope is that they're still in touch when they get their next opportunity, and they've also got to clean up their game a little bit. 2 little slips, that's all it's been, and they've lost 3 racks in a row. The real concern is, from a Dutch perspective, these two both seem to have their break dialed in at the moment, and if that stays that way, opportunities for the Dutch are going to be limited. Here comes the little mouse. Rack 5.
Rack 5, the Philippines to break, leading 3 racks to 1.
A lot of focus of Chua. This is like the drive in golf. Play this one well and set you up for a winner.
The wing ball disappeared. The 8 bounced around. That's an interesting spread, isn't it?
Okay, they're now halted. I don't think, well, the 1-4, if it's lined up dead straight to that corner pocket, they will definitely consider it. If there's the least bit of angle between those balls, it's going to be a safety.
I wondered how the cue ball had got right up to the top of the table, and then you watch the overhead replay and it got banged around. So that explains that.
Okay. They don't feel tempted. Thin off of the 1, hide behind the 7.
Or in this case,
yeah,
hide behind the blue. There were lots of options.
Yeah, actually this is a smarter shot, because if he would have tried to go behind the 7, if he then doesn't get there, there would be a window between the 2-7. And now, playing like this, if he would have hit it short, there wouldn't have been a cut down.
Extension called.
So now a 2-railer for Niels. The sort of 2-railer that Nick had to play before on the 4-ball.
And we're not going to remind you what happened then. Contact. What is he going to leave? Oh, this isn't going very well at all, is it? There's a resigned air as Niels Fine and Nick van den Berg walk back to their seats there.
Yes, it's sitting nicely for the Pinoys. The one is open. They're taking all the time they have,
Extension call.
plus an extension, so that gives them an extra 30 seconds because they know this is the key shot with all the balls dispersed like they are. It's about making that good start. That one shot at the beginning should be good. Just like in snooker so often happens. If a player misplays that first shot, the break dies in the 20s, 30s. Recovery shot by Biada required. As Chua's cue ball ended up short.
Dealt with that. So that'll send up a Johan Chua again. Most pool players have a lot of experience and accomplishments when it comes to other cue sports as well, Alex. Chua here, got a bit of a billiards background, hasn't he?
Nice shot there. Well, I think the more different disciplines one plays, the better it is. Because you learn different equipment, different rules. It all adds to more knowledge. And the player learns to think outside the box.
Such subtle differences with 8 ball, 9 ball, 10 ball, and there's one pocket, 3 cushion, carom,
yeah,
snooker, billiards, yeah.
Russian pyramid.
Rare is the player who excels at all.
Well, I think Efren Reyes could be one of the favorites still.
Even now. Right, you are talking about the master there, aren't you?
Enough angle. Medium speed should be enough here to end above the 8 ball. Ooh, he hit that ball thick.
Allowed himself a little smile because he knew he got away with it there.
Straight in on the 9, a little close to the rail. He'll take his time.
Various other players in the audience having a look at this, possibly scouting a potential future opponent. There are the #1 seeds, Chinese Taipei, Ko and Sheng. They've not exactly lit the place up so far, Chinese Taipei, but they're in the last 8, which is all that matters.
Well, you know, it wasn't their A game, but the better I thought it was that they could come with the shots when they needed it. I mean, when you're playing C game or B game, when you're struggling, and then come with quality winning shots, I mean, they have to come from further. So, you know, they showed a lot of quality there. A chain is, the strength of a chain is determined by its weakest link. And that's what they showed. A strong chain, Chinese Taipei in the quarterfinals.
And at the moment, it looks like Philippines will be joining them. As you said earlier, Alex, I can think of only one team that overhauled a deficit like this so far through 3 days of competition. Now the odds are stacking up against the Dutch. They really need a dry break from the Philippines here. Well, just some bad luck on position. Oh, there goes the wing ball, and the 1 ball has gone as well. It's another nice spread. Now there's a kick over there, but it stayed up. That could have been the moment the Dutch wanted. Now the 3 has rolled over to take out the natural line for the 2, but the combination may well be there.
No, combination here is, well, I'm saying no.
It's tough.
They might, but this is so difficult. A lot of distance between the 2 and the 3, and a diamond distance between the 3 and the pocket.
Now, can they just slide that 2 ball perhaps off the rail and in?
He's lining up some sort. He's jacking up. Safety. Clip it. Oh, it was on.
Yeah,
it was
it
on
was on.
all
Yeah.
along. Nice shot.
Niels Feijen, when that ball went down, let out a big sigh. That may well be another rack that's got away from the Dutch. If the Filipinos play another clean rack here, 5-1, you would not bet against it. Right now, the Dutch are just hoping for a lapse in concentration or a bit of bad luck. And bad luck will come along on a pool table.
Sit and hope, that's what they're doing. And I'm now thinking about the little talk I had with John Mora of Canada right before this match. We did a little analysis of their last match against Japan. That Japan played so well, and about those 3 mistakes that Canada made. 3 mistakes in the race to 7. That's about what we have seen from Niels and Nick. On difficult shots, I might add.
But that is the problem, isn't it? The quality of the players that remain in this competition. 3 mistakes, even small mistakes, they're going to get you. You can't survive them. Continue to impress with their positional play as well here, this Filipino partnership.
Yes, they have the cue ball on a string. Now, in the beginning of the match, especially Biado looked a little twitchy, overrunning the mark. And at that crucial time, he was saved by that beautiful safety from Chua. That saved the day.
Well, anybody watching Nibal for the first time is probably thinking this is an easy game. Break, run out, break, run out. That's what the Filipinos are doing at the moment. They are making it look very easy. It's a procession to the quarterfinals for this young Filipino team. 5-1. They've had the Dutch stuck in their chairs, and quite rightly, they're going to take a time out now. Anything just to try and break up the rhythm. It's looking good for the Philippines. 5-1 in this race to 7. Just seems like break and run for Philippines at the moment. Breaking so well, taking care of the cue ball, potting comfortably. And it's been a tough night for the Dutch, who, remember, took the first rack of this match and have been blank ever since. Coming up later, Scotland versus England. That might be in just a few minutes the way this match is going. And our evening session will conclude, and indeed round 2 will conclude, with the United States versus Spain. All the big guns progressing so
Thank you,
far,
rack 7. The
but the Dutch,
break,
the number
leading
6
5 racks
seeds,
to 1.
in serious danger of not matching up with their seeding and going out in round 2. They just need, the Dutch, something to go wrong on the break for the Philippines.
Oh, beautiful cue ball.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding?
5 balls down for Johan Chua.
Oh,
And
wow.
in the replay, look at what that cue ball does. We saw him addressing the cue ball so carefully.
Oh, look at it.
Crawling forward to avoid any other kisses.
That is the break of the competition so far.
Biado lining up.
Oh, and then he's missed.
A
Wow.
lifeline for Clockwork Orange when the clock was showing 5 to 12.
Oh, my goodness me.
Move out, Niels signals to Carlo Biado.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a close-up of those little nervy warm-up strokes of Carlo Biado. Didn't look smooth.
Well, this is why you have to stay in the game.
Extension called.
I mean, they probably can't believe their luck that they're back on the table. with ball in hand and virtually nothing on the table. Chua got rid of so many of those balls. 5 balls gone.
And in between angle, Niels has left Nick on the 4 ball. No, many options, but he needs to work the cue ball. Topspin with check. 2 rail stun or draw out to the right rail. All the way back. Nicely done. Nick in general doesn't like to opt for power strokes. He's a very smooth player. But when he needs to, he usually can. And he did.
I bet they cannot believe they've got this lifeline. They must have watched that break and gone, oh, that's 6-1 then. I'm sure that's what everybody in this building and everybody watching was thinking the same thing.
Now, Nick usually has some difficulty staying down on a shot. Let's see how his nerves are.
He's got to get this.
Beautiful.
And he has, no question about it. They've been given a lifeline. Out of nothing as well.
I like that delivery of Nick Vandenberg. There was for me no doubt that he was going to make that 9, but there are different ways to make a shot. Confident or haphazard.
Talk about the highs and lows. You've just seen that incredible break, and then right after that, this, and how costly could that prove to be at 5-1, breaking for the hill, 5 balls down, and then missing like that. I mean, it's a lonely place when you're struggling, even when you've got a partner sat next to you. But Carlo Biardo must feel utterly dejected at the moment, and good to see his teammate there. Chua just trying to keep him engaged. Look, he's making all the conversation, but Biardo just doesn't want to talk, does he? He just wants to just...
Yeah, but that's the task of the other player, to open up the other guy, to not make him stay in that negative spiral.
Holland to break, trailing
He's
2
doing the
racks
right
to
thing,
5.
Chua. He's got to get his partner out of that. He's going to need him.
I had a chat with
Down,
Chua for the
please.
first time this week. I got to know him a little bit. Very laid back, open.
So the wing ball went down, the 1 ball went down into the side. The 8 had a little think about joining it.
So Nick has a shot on the red 3 ball here, but this is really a tester. Really a tester, because stunning the cue ball, going short rail, long rail, would be very difficult to avoid collision with the 6 and the 5. Yeah, but then roll the ball with check side, one could think. Easier said than done with this distance. And on this table, because that cue ball is very fragile when you play topspin with check side. Like I mentioned before, a lot of deflection. Good eyes. Focus.
Ooh,
oh, beautiful.
Thought long and hard about
Well,
it.
this was the shot that I was talking about. He played that with a lot of quality. And we saw his eyes go back and forth between the 2 aiming points. The one on the cue ball, the tip position, and the one on the object ball, the point of aim.
Given the context of the match, that was a ball he just had to have. And he's got it. Now, no safety net for this Dutch pair. Everything has got to be perfect from here on in.
Little angle, close to the rail. This is not natural. This is laying pretty nasty. With check side, he can stay above the 6, but you don't want to play this shot with check side. So he's going around the 6. Niels needs to play this with check side. Knowing that on this table, on the TV table, it doesn't grab as much. There's little grip on the rail with that rotation on the cue ball. So it's going to be a longer shot on the 7. So maybe just settle for that, just topspin. Just get it off the rail. Nice. And that's why Niels Vij is a 4-time MVP in the Mosconi Cup, a pillar, a icon in European pool. He played it the confident and positive way. No negative shots. Setting his partner Nick van den Berg perfectly up for the 7. They're in the hunt. They're looking to book this 8th rack.
Yeah, they really are. Just taking his time with this 9 ball, doesn't want to risk anything silly coming off it. First though, the 8 just has to get tucked in, and he just has to make sure he leaves his partner with position.
Nick van den Berg, ranked number 1 currently on the European Mosconi ranking. Struggled for a season and a half with his form, but it all fell into place about 7 months ago. El Nino is back.
And the Dutch are back as well. And that miss on the 1 from Carlo Biado continues to loom large here. At 5-1 and breaking and looking good. The Filipinos were cruising to the finish line. That miss, and suddenly it's a 5-3 game, and momentum now with the guys in the orange. And how must Carlo Biado feel? The longer he's stuck in that chair, the longer he's had to just sit and think about it.
Very strong wreck by Clockwork Orange. Great break. Beautiful shot on the 3 ball by Nicky.
Got to spare a thought for him. Everybody's been in his shoes. All you want is a chance.
Yeah, that's that
to atone.
That's that. Sorry, Nick. That's that pressure of doubles play, of team play. Amazing pressure. Even if you play a league match. If I play a league match in Holland, and you know you play for the title, you do it for each other.
Rack
it's
9.
amazing. But
Holland
I have
break,
to say, it's
train
better
3
to
racks to
play
5.
than to sweat. You know, sweat the match of someone on your team. That's even worse.
Van den Berg looking to keep this Dutch charge going.
2 ball travels. It's getting closer. It's just about almost straight into the side pocket, but that would be an amazingly steep cut. It doesn't go to the corner pocket. The 4 is blocking it. And I think Niels is looking at the safety options using the pink and orange friends there.
Now he wants that to travel and keep on traveling.
We just stopped in time. It's still, I don't know if this is jumpable, if the 4 is too far or not. Yeah, it's difficult, but 1 rotation more off the 2, and it could have been a window of opportunity for the Pinoys. Robert Braga in the back from Romania.
Extension call.
He has seen about every single shot this week played here in York Hall. Very easy to scratch here.
Well, this is the man who's got the demons of that missed 1 ball as well. Oh, he's unlucky. He's unlucky.
Yeah.
But has he got the second prize?
Oh, and here comes Nick's jumper, which was borrowed to him this week because, well, it looks beautiful. If we can get it close, I would like my furniture to look like this. Beautiful wood, but it also jumps like on autopilot. An Alex Brick jump cue. I think only 10 were made. Oh, travels. Shot on the 4 for Niels.
Well, they really are now back in business.
An angle on the pink 4. So what does Niels do to get Nick a decent shot on the 5? Can he soft draw this? I don't think so. Can he go up and
Extension
down
call.
without the cue ball losing speed? He needs. This is the type of shot that you need time for to figure out how to play it. Mark this shot because the match could run on the result of it.
Contact with the 6 ball.
And now the 5 ball all along the rail. Nick Vandenberg in rack 9. Can they maintain their momentum? The Dutch destroyers.
They just can't afford to lose another rack. They can't give up the table. That's another massive shot, this.
Ooh, did he hit that ball good?
Oh, my goodness
Beautiful.
me. My goodness,
Beautiful.
what a shot.
You see how he stayed down? That bridge hand firm on the table. Great shot by Nick. It's a chase.
That was not easy.
Well, there was some movement, but at least that bridge hand stayed still. Now close the deal in rack 9. Overrunning the mark on the 7 ball. Too much angle, it seems, to draw back directly. If so, then to the short rail and back. Yes, he addresses center ball, so it's going to be a stun. He's playing good, Nick is.
Oh, look at this. What an impressive rack so far. Got to finish it. Every shot, though, has been high pressure. They have got to make every shot now till the end of the match. And they've kicked it up to a whole new level. Spare a thought for Biardo, who really went for it on that 2. It's a really good effort, but it didn't drop for him. And the Dutch were back in.
Yeah, this match totally living up to its promise.
Everything turned on that miss. But look where momentum is now. Look where the belief is now. They're still trailing, but they're tucked in just behind the Filipinos, and they are loving it. Every shot laced with pressure in this match now for the Dutch. They handled the pressure brilliantly in that last rack. The jump shot worked, the long 5 worked, the 9 went down. The Dutch right back in business now. The smiles are on the faces again. What a good match this has been. Earlier today, Chinese Taipei, China, Austria all prevailing. Later, Scotland versus England. After that, USA versus Spain. Philippines v Holland has got 1 or 2 twists and turns coming yet. The Dutch have the table. They cannot afford to relinquish it. Just remember, 5-1 the Philippines led. Beautiful break, then a miss on the 1, and this match has been transformed. Fine, getting tremendous action on that cue ball, which has headed north.
No shot, but if Nick sees part of that 1 ball, he'll have a good safety opportunity. No such thing as a roll in rack 10. even though they trail one break. The comeback has been
Push
made.
out called.
Step 1. Now step 2. So he's pushing for that window between the 2 and 7. It's going to be a kick shot.
He didn't like it. He had another look at it and reacted.
I think this is too
Vandenberg,
easy.
yeah.
Oh, sorry, Nick. Yeah.
He wasn't happy with that push at all.
Oh, they have a clear view of the one.
Well, I just saw his reaction there, Vandenberg. As soon as he took a look at that, he went, ah, no.
Direct hit, or even with a kick shot off of the rail, it's going to be relatively easy for Chua to control that cue ball, to hold it here. Direct hit.
Well, it just bounced off the 7, and that has not gone as he intended either. Talking about clear views, that's almost clear. He can certainly see enough. He's looking to have a look at his angles here, Fyan. Can he see enough of it, though?
Well, he doesn't have a direct pot on the one. No, I don't.
Extension
Can't
called.
imagine him considering the cut to the left-hand pocket. Maybe hit it full enough and bank that one ball back towards the 7 and the 2. That would be the most, you know, solid shot if he sees enough, if he doesn't scratch off the 4. Ooh, that's nice.
That's not going to go.
No, no.
Will he get safety?
Yeah, he played to overcut it. Beautiful.
Oh, yes.
Beautiful. Look at the speed control. The containing safety. So a containing safety is where you leave distance and not an open shot. Leaves you vulnerable still. But sometimes you don't have any better option than that. And this type of position is where Holland in the beginning of the match left a shot on.
Extension called.
Biardo was just sizing that up, heard the beeps quite rightly. Just did a reset.
Now, how smooth will he deliver this stroke? Is he feeling the heat?
He's kicked that out. What's he going to get off the back end of that? Needs to put the brakes on. Well, not perfect, but
No, well, for what he had. No,
Yeah.
it's what he had.
I think he was trying to drop it behind the 7, and that would have been perfect. It would have been an incredible shot, but he's not going to be too unhappy with that, is he?
No, no. From where he was, he has played the shot as good as he could. Because with all that distance, he needs to get underneath that one with side spin. And this does cut. But he's not attacking. A containing safety once again.
Needs the eclipse on the blue too. Chua is having a real good look at this. He's checking out the angles.
So this would mean... No, it doesn't go. It doesn't go. A containing safety by Nick Vandenberg. As the tennis coach Brad Gilbert told Andre Agassi, don't go for winners.
Oh.
Make your opponent play another shot, and that's what the Dutch are doing here.
And the title of his book was called?
Winning Ugly.
Correct.
Beautiful book. I saw the cover and I just right away I knew I wanted it.
And that's what the Dutch are trying to do here. Winning is the key. If you win with style, great, but win ugly if you have to.
Two
Now,
containing safeties leading up to this chance to overtake the initiative. Good shot.
yeah, and now the pressure really gets ramped up here because both teams have used their extension and the safety battle continues. So there's now, not only have you got to get out of the jam you're in, you've got to stay safe and you've got to keep one eye on the clock as well. So the pressure is ramping up here with every shot. Biardo has dug himself out.
Nice shot. Nice speed. Nice speed. You know, with kick shots, players often they make an educated guess about the speed to play the shot with. A good hit. They've survived the scare for now. Nicely done. Nicely done. The difficulty there was to judge the half ball hit of the 1 on the 7.
This is like two Wild West gunfighters just staring each other down, and who's going to twitch.
This is maybe the best safety battle thus far in the tournament.
But you know what? The team that loses this particular duel could end up losing the match. The stakes are really high here with every shot. Now that looks like it's opened up a bit of a channel. Chua is wandering back to his chair a little bit unhappy with himself.
He played that phenomenal safety in the beginning of the match when Beato lost position on the 4, but this time no cover found by Chua, by Bob Witt. Faye to cut this 1 ball in.
There we go.
Hold it. Stops in time. Now Nick will bring this cue ball from the short rail to the long rail. Speed-wise, to control that speed, to have a reference, it's always nice to get that extra rail. So he'll play, like I expect, to the rail and out.
It's as if they're listening to you, Alex.
No, it's sort of, it's you know, players like to do that because that extra rail, because yeah, just gives you a feel for the speed to play the shot with. Twice across. Now Niels played just 1 rail, and there are few players in the world that play that shot better than him. He learned that playing the 6-pointed star from Bert Kinnister an exercise. Without exaggerating, he'll have done that exercise 700 hours at least.
Wow.
15 years ago, 20 years ago, he put in so many hours. Still does. But then at that time, super committed.
3 shots away here from parity.
Good enough. Not without a scare though, I must admit.
Yeah, a little think on the way down, didn't it?
Nick Vandenberg doing an extra lap, not a lap of honor, just some extra time to get ready. Glum looking Johan Chua. He's the one responsible ultimately for this chance for the Dutch.
And just look at what they've done with this chance. There you go, from 5-1 down and seemingly on the way out of the competition. This match has turned completely on that big miss on the 1 ball from the Philippines. Beato on the right there is probably still sitting there thinking about this. I mean, it's very rare that there is one specific defining moment in a match, but we certainly have it here, and he knows it better than anybody. They were cruising 5-1, an absolute blistering break, 4-5 balls down, and then that miss. Up stepped the Dutch, and they have just rolled it ever since. What must he be thinking, because they were there, they were virtually at the finish line. And then this. It has turned this match upside down, that 1 shot. Now it's a race to 2, and it's the Dutch in the ascendancy. They're breaking well. Nick Vandenberg looking to try and get the Netherlands on the hill.
Now the key is to break to win.
11.
Don't break to
Holland
not
to break.
scratch,
5-5.
break to win. Because if you tell yourself to not scratch, then subconsciously you're programming yourself to scratch.
This is where the psychology changes again, because you're 5-1 down, you're just chasing and loosened up and no expectations, but now you've got yourself to 5-all. It's like we've got to go on and win. The dynamic just changes again. There goes the wing ball. Another one followed it. Now, will he have some luck with that one, or is that green 6 coming along? There it goes. The eclipse came along just when they didn't want it. There are no easy paths to a quarter-final in the World Cup of Pool.
So a push out again. The first one in this match won by the Pinoys. The second push out and safety battle won by the Dutch. It's now a race to 3. So imagine the importance of the next few upcoming shots.
Push out called.
For both teams, so close to the quarterfinals. We're going to have another one of those absorbing, compelling safety duels here. Now, the man who cracked last time, or who was forced to crack, is the first man up for the Philippines here.
Dangerous push out, because he can attack. I don't like forcing my opponent into an offensive winning shot. They can choose to attack. Make sure to, well, there's two, yeah, make sure to overcut it. You know, if you miss it to the long rail. Or is he playing it safe? Bank to one back.
Nailed it, nailed it.
Yeah, very, very dangerous push out. I mean, you have the guy in the ropes, or the guys, they were hanging in the ropes. Don't give him an out, and the Dutch have just done that.
Now, there is a very tricky little 2-ball into that pocket where Beato missed the 1. He doesn't want the ghost of that in the back of his mind right now. He's got to make sure of this. And that'll get rid of the ghosts. Oh, hang on. Yes, he's okay.
5 balls, and then the Philippines will be on the hill first with the break. And the lesson always comes after the exam. But already Niels and Nick will question if that has been a proper,
Extension
the
call.
correct place to push the cue ball out to.
There's such fine margins between success and disaster in this game at this level, aren't there? Down goes the 3. Good position here for that 5 ball.
The 6 goes past the 8. So he can draw this back softly.
Yeah, he took his time with that one.
So if Chua now puts the cue ball near the left long rail, all will be good for Beato. Chua's feeling the heat, made a little reset there. Now Beato can follow to the rail and out, or draw. Never say never, but big time favorites to go to the hill first, of course.
I was just thinking there, Alex, while you said that, how things change in a hurry. Look how they were smiling and joking, the Dutch, not 5 minutes ago. They're not smiling now. They are staring at the exit sign. We've seen these missed, especially in a high-pressure environment. Chua taking his time, making sure he doesn't miss, and the Philippines are on the hill. 5-1, then it looked like they'd blown it. Now they're back in business, and it's the Dutch that can stew over that push-out that exploded spectacularly in their faces.
Anytime you play a push, you're at a disadvantage because you give your opponent option. So either try to play for a non-winning position or block the table. Play, you know, put a ball next to another ball so there's no open run out available.
Well, let's have another look at it.
But it's easy, of course, to talk from the sidelines.
Oh yeah, no one's ever missed a shot in a commentary box. Nobody's ever messed up. But that was too much bait, and Chua said, you know what, you give me that, I'll take it. And then a couple of other tricky mid-range shots were taken down,
Round 12.
and that was a very accomplished clean-up from the Filipino pair, who are now on the hill, breaking for a place in the quarterfinals, and a big win.
Many fingers crossed now worldwide for position on the one on the Pinoy side, and in Holland for a non-playable one ball.
There we go again.
Niels and Nick will get back to the table.
It's almost a carbon copy of the last break for the Dutch pair, wasn't it? Then a ball just sort of wandered along lazily just to take away the shot. How often does it happen?
They can kick at this if they don't see it directly. I would prefer to attack from here. Good shot. He aimed.
Very nice.
He
Very
aimed
nice.
to position that one ball in the middle of the short rail, and he got the bonus. The cue ball safe behind the two. Beautiful shot. So we got misled.
The absolute worst case scenario here is ball in hand. That should not happen, but Vandenberg has got to make sure he finds safety as well. Just roll that in.
Ball in hand.
And there we go, he's fouled. He's fouled. Snatched a little bit. He heard the shot clock, and he had an extension. And he's just grazed that 9 ball, and that, you think, is probably the last act of this particular drama.
The 3 balls, the only ball providing hope for the Dutch, because it only goes to one side. But this is smart positional play to the rail and then towards the 2 ball. Perfect. Chua will go forward about 3 balls. And it's hard to imagine the Filipinos not get out from here.
Well, in the end, it all comes down to mistakes and errors, doesn't it? One massive one for the Philippines that almost cost them. Then 2 back-to-back right at the business end of this match. The push out, the foul on the 9, and I don't think the Dutch can recover.
Well, it's been one hell of a match.
It really has.
Nerve-wracking second round match for a place in the quarterfinals.
It's a shame to see one of these teams going home this early in the competition, because they've both played well. Okay, we talked about the errors because that's what we're going to remember from this, I suppose, but there have been so many good quality shots from both camps. A really entertaining match for a neutral.
Did he underhit that shot? He did, but to what extent? Biado, I think, can still draw his rock directly to the right-hand long rail. If not, he needs to travel, go behind the 9. No, he's drawing. He sees enough. Does he have the smoothness? Oh, nice shot. A creative solution to the problem that he had. A kiss shot off of the 8 ball.
He's recovered really well. He's played a couple of absolute beauties, Biado.
Everyone's going to miss. It's about what happens after that.
Yeah, you'll probably ask him now, talk about that miss. He'll go, what miss? I've forgotten about it. Gone.
Needs to stretch. We see him shake. Played it smooth. Left a longer shot for Johan Chua.
Yeah, this is a pressure shot. Chua just nodding there and just gave his partner the thumb up. Don't worry, it's okay, I've got this. But this is a little bit more than he was hoping
Extension called.
for the match, and straight away, without even wasting any time, he's just said, give me the extension. I need to sit and look at this. What a shot for the match. In the knowledge that if you miss it, it's hill, and the other guys are breaking. Massive pressure here on Bubwit Chua. And he's handled it brilliantly. Terrific recovery there from the Philippines, who had this. Then it looked like it had slipped away. Then they really dug in. Capitalized on mistakes from the Dutch. They'll be kicking themselves for a long time after that. Their wait goes on. But it's this Philippine team, the number 11 seeds, that have survived a huge scare. But they showed their real toughness in digging this one out. 7-5. They proceed to the quarterfinals. Well, tremendous action there, and still more to come. Up next, the old enemies, England versus Scotland. Don't go anywhere for that one.